I'm just going to come out and say it. I need to put a pause on this show. And, it's been in the past week or so where I've really gotten this sense of like, I need to pivot. And it's right on the tip of my tongue on what the pivot needs to be. I'm still going to be doing podcasting. I love podcasting and I still want to grow a show. But I've just been getting this intuitive nudge of like, I need to pivot into something different. Like the concept needs to be different. The name needs to be different. And if you've been here for a little while, you know that I was submitting for a trademark of Secret Garden and the trademark was accepted and then clawed back. And so that has really sparked this review of like what I'm really doing and do I feel really good about the name and the concept and do I really want to fight this and fight for the approval of this Secret Garden trademark. And the more I've felt into it and sat with it, the more I'm like, oh my gosh, like I think something completely new wants to come to life in its place. And for a while, I was trying to convince myself of like, no, I can keep going and I'll just build the next iteration of this on the side, or like I'll be developing it as well as putting out an episode each week, as well as having a full-time job, as well as, doing all the other things in my life. And, as much as I would love to do that, the more I've sat with that, I'm like, holy shit. Like what I keep coming back to is human design, and all of us have a different archetype in human design. There's generators, manifesting generators, manifestors, reflectors, and projectors. And so everyone uses their energy a little bit differently. And you also, each type has a different signal as to when they're on the right track versus when they're not, or when they need to pivot. And so my human design type is manifesting generator. And what that means for me is like, I'll go down the rabbit holes of things. Like I will go full blast in one direction. And as soon as that stops exciting me, or as soon as I get this inkling of like, this other thing feels a lot more exciting, I know that like I have to start moving in that direction. And as part of manifesting generators, like for myself, I knew in starting this podcast, like by me making it a weekly show, I knew that it was just going to speed up whatever form this was going to take. Like by me focusing intentionally every single week, putting out this episode, not only have my skills ramped up, but also my vision for where the show can go has also expanded. And in the past week or so, I've been like diving into content that just like lights me up so much. And the more that I dive into that content, the more I'm like, okay, I can see where I want to take this show. And the next version of it and the next like pivot feels so on the tip of my tongue. But by me trying to sustain the existing concept of the podcast, it's leaking my energy and not allowing me to put all of my energy towards the thing that I really want to have it grow into, if that makes sense. So with manifesting generators, it's all about, when you feel super excited and lit up versus when you feel frustrated. And it's not so much that I've been feeling frustrated. It's more of like I'm so excited by this other thing that I want to go down the rabbit hole on right now. But I'm like keeping myself tied to producing an episode on this concept that feels a little bit, the word that's coming to mind right now is like outdated. And I say it's outdated, that's probably the wrong word. I think the way I'm sort of thinking about it is that this show is like, if you think about like an iPhone camera lens, like when you're trying to take a photo, there's like the 0.5 times, the 1, the 2, the 3, like as far as like how much you zoom in. And I really feel like this show, like in its current format, current state, is very much of like we're zooming in to the 3 on the iPhone camera lens on me and my life. And by doing that, you're only seeing like one part of me, and I'm also only showing up as one part of me. And I think that's really what I'm finding, is that that's not so fulfilling to sustain in the long term. Like there's so many different aspects of my personality and in how I like to show up in the world. And so really, instead of being at like a 3 zoom on the camera lens, I almost want to take it out to like a 0.8 and incorporate a bunch of different aspects of what make me me. And it all feels so on the tip of my tongue. I have like a list of all the things that I really love and in the way I show up in different areas and how I want to compile everything. But literally, like, I think I need to create space for the full answer to come to me. And so that's really why I'm needing to put a pause on this for a little bit. And it's not like I'm never coming back. It's I want to pivot quickly. And the way for me to pivot quickly is to follow what's really exciting me right now. And it's all about trusting that that's going to bring me the answers that I want to evolve the show. I think in the past few days, I felt a lot of resistance around even pausing this. For the longest time, I was like, okay, I just want to build up consistency around me just doing the show and me posting consistently every single week. And I did that. I built up consistency. And so it's so ingrained in my habits and my routines right now to where it is going to feel quite weird to not publish an episode next week. But, you know, it's really been this like exercise of trust and grace to like let go a little bit so that you can create space for the next thing to come in. And it's funny because even yesterday I was feeling so much resistance towards this, and I was thinking to myself, well, maybe I'll just sit down and film an episode that I was going to film, and I'll basically just continue on with the show. And as soon as I had that thought to myself, the fire alarm went off. Now, the fire alarm has gone off before as I've sat down to record episodes, but yesterday felt a bit different in the sense of the universe was like, no, you're not continuing on the path that you've been on just for the sake of continuing. Like, you need to pivot and you need to trust that you can pivot. And like I said, it just all feels so on the tip of my tongue. But what I found so fascinating though was like, as soon as I allowed myself to say, okay, yes, I'm going to pause this and I'm going to create space for myself, I went on a walk and I was like, just sort of sitting with that. And almost immediately, a couple things came to mind of like, I need to go here next, or I need to dive into this next, or I need to create this next. And it was like creating things in completely different mediums than I've created in before. And it's like, it was so interesting. It was like this feeling of like, no, this is the time that I need to create these other things. And when those ideas were coming to me, I was like, wait, I'm so excited by this. Like, I know exactly the next steps I want to take. I want to do this. I like can't wait to start. It was that sort of draw of like, oh my God, I need to look at this now. I want to stay up all night and look at this now. Like, it was that sort of draw. And so, if you're listening to this and you're like, gosh, I can think of some things or areas in my life where I want to pivot out of, I think so much magic can come from you even taking the step to decide to pivot. You're immediately opening up space for other things to come in by doing the thing that maybe scares you a little bit by pivoting, or scares you a little bit because you're breaking the weekly streak that you've had or the consistency that you've built up. But it's all in service of expressing things in the way that you want to express it. That is truly what I'm focused on right now. And when I think about like the end state that I want to get to, like I get so excited because it truly is like all sides of my personality. Like I think that's the ultimate goal, is to show all sides of my personality and not just like dive so deep into the depths of my soul, because in reality I don't move around the world in that way. Like yes, I'm always thinking about things deeply, but I'm not, my everyday conversations are not so deep. Like they're a balance of light and dark. And in one conversation, we can be flowing from like a light topic to sarcastic humor, back to like general light topic, down to a really deep topic. Like it really spans the spectrum. And, I also want to bring in guests and build up the show in that way. So I have all of these ideas and I just need to figure out how they all fit together in this final puzzle. But I think one of the difficult things as a manifesting generator is being able to actually pivot when you know you need to pivot. Because I think with manifesting generators, we can like wholeheartedly pursue certain paths, and then at a certain point we're like, nope, it's not this path anymore, or nope, it's not this idea, or nope, it's, because we get to a point where it's like, okay, we've learned everything that we need to know in this stage, and now we're moving on to the next stage. And so it's not necessarily like we're ever starting over again, although it looks like that from the outside. But with each step, by following what lights us up, we're slowly sort of hopping from one thing to another, but it all is progress. And so it's also nonlinear. And I think that can confuse people in society. They're like, we want to be able to know your every move, and we want to be able to connect the dots on where you're going to be going next. And we want to be able to project out like, oh, you're going to be here. And for manifesting generators, that's just not realistic. And actually it generates a lot of frustration, which is our not self emotion, when we try and fit ourselves into that box. And so if you're sitting there and if maybe you don't know about human design, but you resonate with this sort of feeling of like, I feel like I have a bunch of different things going on at one time, and I'm chasing all these different rabbit holes, and I'm like following each rabbit hole until it doesn't light me up anymore. And then I'm pivoting. And if that resonates with you, like this is truly like you are a manifesting generator. And this is like as they say in human design, like manifesting generators are meant to just be the example of a non-linear way of doing things. And we're also meant to have, like, we're multi-hyphenates and we're meant to be doing a bunch of different things. And somehow all of those things eventually weave together. And so that is the journey that I'm on. And yeah, I just wanted to give you that update. But thank you so much for being here. And I'm so excited for this next phase of the show. Like, truly, the vision I have in my mind is it's just going to be so incredible. And I'm so appreciative to have you here as an OG. So thank you so much for tuning in this week. And I'll see you soon. Bye.